They scanned our oceans, they mapped our cities, they measured our weapons. And then the Galactic Empire laughed. To them, humanity was fragile, divided, primitive, emotional. They believed intelligence was calculated in cold equations and sterile logic. They were wrong, because what they dismissed, what they failed to measure, was the most dangerous force in the universe. The human mind. And when they tried to erase us from the sky, we rewrote their stars. It began with silence, not the peaceful kind. The suffocating, unnatural silence that made birds stop mid-flight and oceans freeze in restless anticipation. Every satellite orbiting Earth flickered simultaneously. Then the sky cracked open, not physically, but digitally. Across every screen on Earth, from towering skyscrapers in New York to remote villages in the Himalayas, a single symbol appeared, a spiral galaxy rotating in impossible geometry. And then they spoke. The voice was layered, thousands speaking as one. We are the sovereign Galactic Empire. You are classified as pre-expansion civilization. Your resources are now under imperial audit. No threats, no anger, no emotion. Just certainty. They didn't ask for surrender. They assumed it. Within hours, colossal structures appeared in orbit, vast monolithic constructs that bent light around them like gravity wells forged by gods. Human telescopes failed to comprehend their scale. The Empire deployed probes, sleek, silver obelisks descending through Earth's atmosphere without resistance. They studied everything: languages, history, military strength, culture, neural patterns, and after 3 days, they delivered their verdict. Humanity demonstrates fragmented governance, emotional instability index, catastrophic, logical efficiency suboptimal, probability of resistance irrelevant. They labeled us cognitively inferior. They saw our wars, our political chaos, our contradictions. They concluded our minds were our weakness. What they didn't see was that our contradictions were our power. Dr. Ilara Vance was the first to understand. A cognitive astrophysicist working at a hidden research installation in Iceland, she had been studying quantum neural entanglement, how consciousness might interact with cosmic background radiation. When the Empire scanned Earth, they used structured logic frameworks. Perfect, crystalline, algorithmic. But Ilara noticed something. Their systems couldn't model unpredictability. They couldn't calculate irrational leaps. They couldn't process creativity that broke its own rules. Their empire was built on absolute logic. Humanity thrived on chaotic brilliance, and chaos, when focused, becomes evolution. The Empire didn't invade, they integrated. Orbital harvesters began siphoning rare minerals. Oceans were filtered for exotic isotopes. Atmospheric processors adjusted planetary chemistry to suit imperial energy grids. To them, Earth was infrastructure. When world leaders attempted communication, the Empire responded with chilling indifference. You are not being conquered. You are being optimized. That word ignited something in humanity. Optimized, reduced to a variable, compressed into a statistic. The Empire thought efficiency was supremacy. But humans had done something impossible for millennia. We survived ourselves. Ilara gathered the brightest minds across continents. Hackers, philosophers, poets, physicists, yes, poets. Because she realized something profound. The Empire processed language literally. Metaphor confused them. Paradox destabilized their predictive algorithms. So humanity weaponized imagination. They began transmitting encoded poetry into imperial data channels, haikus that folded into recursive loops. Stories embedded with quantum triggered anomalies. Music layered with mathematical irregularities designed to fracture logical pattern recognition. The Empire detected the anomaly, but they couldn't categorize it. It wasn't malware. It wasn't a virus. It was meaning. Alara's breakthrough came when she realized Imperial starships relied on stellar manipulation cores, devices that subtly adjusted gravitational harmonics within star systems to generate stable energy corridors. If you controlled the harmonics, you controlled the stars. Human scientists built a neural interface amplifier, connecting thousands of human minds into a synchronized creative lattice. Not to calculate, but to imagine. Together, they envisioned alternative gravitational equations, not stable, not symmetrical, beautifully flawed constructs that introduced microscopic inconsistencies into imperial star core models, and those inconsistencies spread across constellations, across supply chains, across the empire. At first, the empire dismissed the fluctuations as statistical noise, but stars began to shimmer irregularly. Imperial travel corridors destabilized. Their predictive AI, once flawless, encountered cascading paradox loops. Human creativity had infected the framework of cosmic order. The empire convened their highest authority, the Stellar Tribunal. For the first time in recorded imperial history, they encountered uncertainty. Their models failed to predict humanity's next move because humans themselves didn't know it. We weren't executing a single plan. We were evolving in real time, improvising, adapting, dreaming. The empire retaliated, not with weapons, but with synchronization pulses. They attempted to standardize human neural activity, to smooth out unpredictability. Entire cities experienced moments of artificial calm. Anger suppressed, imagination dulled, but suppression created backlash. Artists painted feverishly. Children wrote impossible equations. Gamers discovered exploit patterns in imperial drone algorithms. Humanity fractured into a billion sparks of defiance. You cannot standardize a species whose greatest asset is rebellion. Alara initiated the final phase. Using the neural lattice, humanity projected a unified creative surge, an imaginative gravitational blueprint so radical it redefined stellar equilibrium. Across multiple systems, imperial star cores recalibrated, not to imperial constants, but to human-influenced harmonics. We didn't destroy their empire. We rewrote its infrastructure. Trade routes collapsed, command signals misaligned. Entire fleets found themselves stranded between miscalculated jump points. The empire had conquered galaxies through predictability. Humanity introduced wonder. The empire returned to Earth's screens. But the voice was different, less layered, less certain. Human civilization, you have demonstrated anomalous cognitive architecture. Clarify your objective. Humanity responded, not with demands, but with a story, a live broadcast of Earth's history, our failures, our art, our wars, our compassion, our relentless, irrational hope. The empire processed it for 17 minutes, an eternity for beings of logic. Then they transmitted a single statement: you are not inferior. You are unpredictable. This is strategically terrifying. Instead of annihilation, a new classification was issued: cognitive variable species. The empire withdrew harvesters. Trade negotiations began. Joint stellar research initiatives formed. Humanity was no longer a resource, we were a risk. And in a universe ruled by logic, risk was the most powerful currency. The empire had believed intelligence meant control, but humanity proved something revolutionary. True intelligence is adaptation. True power is imagination. True supremacy is the courage to defy inevitability. They dismissed our minds. We rewrote their stars, not with weapons, but with wonder. Years later, imperial scientists discovered something astonishing: the harmonic anomalies humanity introduced into their star cores made stars more resilient, more stable, longer lasting. Human unpredictability had not weakened the galaxy. It had strengthened it. The empire had tried to optimize existence. Humanity had transformed it. If this story ignited your imagination, if you believe creativity is humanity's ultimate superpower, then don't just watch the stars. Become the mind that rewrites them. Like this story. Share it with someone who believes in human potential. Subscribe for more epic, mind-bending sci-fi that challenges the universe itself. Because the next empire that underestimates humanity may not be ready for what we become.